Once again, all of you, I welcome the lecture series of microprocessors and microcontrollers. Okay, today we are going to discuss topic we can call it as the interrupts. Interrupts of 8051 microcontroller. So one thing you should remember: if any processor having more number of interrupts, the type of processor we can call it as a more powerful processor. Okay, more the interrupts, the capability of the microcontroller or maybe microprocessor is increases. Okay, so here the 8051 microcontroller, we have nearly 5 types of interrupts are there. Okay, but in 8086 microprocessors, you can see this microprocessor 8086, we have only the 2 interrupts. But in case of 8051 microcontroller, we have 5 different types of interrupts are available. So first of all, you know that what is the interrupts here? So that interrupts it can be generated by the CPU or an internal nothing but the external devices, input output devices. So what is the interrupt? So what is interrupt? For suppose you are connecting 2 or more devices, 2 or 3 devices to the microcontroller. Or the best example for interrupt is when you consider the some printer, when you print the for suppose 100 pages, 100 pages. So it can print up to the 50 pages. Then you can stop that one because of some reasons. Some anyone come to ask you and stop and print the another some important pages for suppose. Then case you can stop that one. Then you can give in the another command to print the another some pages. Yes, to print the another pages. So what will happen here in this case? What will happen in this case? So first case is interrupted. Microprocessor coming to execute the second case. Second case. Nothing but the first case of that microprocessor is saved. So it cannot exist from this operation. It can save that operation, then coming to the next operation. So we can interrupt the first operation coming to the second one. That we can call it as some interrupt. Once this operation 2 is completed, microprocessor again back to the operation 1 and continue to execute that process. Once you give an interrupt to that microprocessor, so whatever the microprocessor is performed, that operation is paused and saved that operation and come back and coming to the whatever the interrupt you are given. Once that interrupt operation is completed, then microprocessor is again back to the current operation. That you can call it as the interrupt. Okay. See this in 8086 microprocessor, we have only 2 interrupts. 2 interrupts. So to solve this problem, we are using the PIC controller, programmable interrupt controller. So by using that controller, we are going to connect the 8 interrupts. In cascade mode, we are going to connect the 64 interrupts. In regular mode, in normal mode, can connect the 8 interrupts. So we are using one PIC controller, programmable interrupt controller, but to connect this programmable interrupt controller in normal mode, 8 interrupts. So in case of cascade mode, the same controller it can work in cascade mode. Can use it as you can connect the 64 interrupts. But a separate device is necessary to connect this to operate this interrupt. But in 8051 microcontroller, there is no such type of external device you are going to connect to operate this interrupts. Okay, see this interrupt concept here. An interrupt here and you can divide into the internal interrupt as well as the external interrupts. And so an interrupt is occurred by internal as well as external events. Okay, so what is the some external events here? In this case, the status of the microprocessor or microcontroller, whatever it may be, microcontroller pin is altered. So what are the external inputs here? External pin here you can call it as external pin or microprocessor or microcontroller pin. What are the external events pin? So INT0, INT1. When you see the signal description of the microprocessor or sorry microcontroller or the pin diagram of the microcontroller, you know you have identify this INT0, INT1 pins. INT0, INT1 pins which are available at the port 3. Port 3. You see that port 3. INT0, INT1 is available at the port 3. So port 3 is the multiplexer and bidirectional pins. Multiplex means this port 3 is used to connect input output devices. At the same time, this port 3 is used for the another purposes like interrupts, an external interrupt as well as read control as well as write control as well as serial communication purposes. At the same time, then you can connect the clock 1 and clock 2 inputs. So all this happen in the port. Okay, as well as some internal events is also active. So how this internal events is nothing but internal interrupts is occurred. So due to that time overflow or a transmission reception of byte through the serial. So an external events you are connected by the INT0, INT1. Then what are the internal events? How the internal events are connected? Time overflow or a transmission reception byte of the serial ports is nothing but we can operate at the so interrupt enable register as well as interrupt priority register as well as timer control register and the serial control register. So in this one. So what will happen after receiving the interrupt signal? What will happen? See this point. Get. So this point will give the what is the interrupt. So once you receive the interrupt signal, so the microcontroller interrupts the execution of the main program is nothing but whatever the microprocessor is executing the current program. Okay, current program, whatever that may be. Maybe it may perform some addition operation, or it may perform some subtraction operations, or it may perform some logical operations, or whatever it may be. So it can be interrupt that the current execution program. So after saving that current status, you know that because why it is saving, because once the interrupt nothing but interrupt interrupt is executed, after the execution of that one, it come back to the normal position. So it come back to the normal position. It must save that current position where that program is executed. It may be executing a logical instruction or step 1, step 2, step 3, or whatever it be. So it go to that current again back to that current position. So that's why microcontroller or microprocessor, whatever the same processes happen, both microprocessor and microcontroller saves that current status. Then microcontroller, remember both are same. Microcontroller jump into the current memory location of the specified interrupt executes subprogram called the interrupt service routine. Two-way process, two-way process. Simply remember this will happen in the two-way process. Remember first process, it can interrupt the microcontroller, interrupt the main or current program and then at the same time saving this. Second one, then it jumps the so interrupt the program, interrupt to subroutine program, ISR. Once it is completed, then it go to the saving position, then execute this program. The two-way process is happening. Okay. Okay, very easy. Okay, so this memory location is called the vector addresses. Vector. This will be given in the vector addresses. Nothing but each and every interrupt has the some addresses. Remember, each and every interrupt has some address that we can know it as the vector interrupt addresses. Okay, a microprocessor, microcontroller. Remember, both are same the operation. So that's why I represent microprocessor and microcontroller. See this. There are five types of interrupts are available in the microcontrollers. Five types of interrupts. Okay, remember out of that five types of interrupts, these are the external interrupts. So available at the port 3. Port 3. These are available at the port 3. What are the remaining? TF0, nothing but timer 0 overflow interrupt, and timer 1 overflow interrupt, as well as serial communication interrupt. These three, what about these three? These three are internal. Available at IE interrupt enable register, then interrupt priority, then PSCON timer control register, then serial control register. These are available at this registers. So you operate these registers, you need to write the program. Okay, how to recognize this registers? And sorry, whatever it may be, how to recognize this interrupts, these five interrupts. So these are the steps you may be to access this interrupts. Once you can nothing but you may be ready to accept this interrupts is nothing but you must write the programming to access this. Without writing programming, you are not accepting this. Then again, in practically speaking, this interrupts is of again two types. It's nothing but series maskable interrupts. Interrupts is of two categories for any type of the microprocessor or microcontroller. It may be a microprocessor or microcontroller. These are maskable, non-maskable. Maskable interrupts as well as non-maskable. Maskable means you can change the functionality of the interrupts. Change the functionality. Can change the functionality of the interrupt. Okay, functionality of the interrupts. How to change that one? By writing programming. By writing programming. So not possible. This is not possible. Even though you're writing the program, so the functionality of that interrupt is not changed. For suppose an example, I will give you a small example. You know that very well. So whenever you are playing some games in your cell phone or whatever, are you listening music? Are you chatting something? Are you, for suppose you play in the game and as well as listening to the music. Suddenly you got some message. What will happen? So the current program, nothing whatever you are listening so microprocessor, microcontroller, it can perform the multiple operations. So at a time, okay, multiple operations at a time. Okay, so both see this. Yes, microprocessor and microcontroller perform the multiple operations. You playing the game at the same time you listening the music. You can perform the two operations at a time. For suppose on that time, so you got the one message that maybe a WhatsApp message or some external message, whatever. What will happen here? So that game or you are playing game or you are listening music is not interrupted completely. It can pass 1 or 2 seconds, then coming to the normal position, or nothing but then continue the music as well as the game. You will not interrupt that completely game as well as music. Nothing but you can change that functionality. So, which for suppose you change the nothing but you got the message. That functionality also can change that. You can mute that one, or you can add show that messages while you are listening music or playing game or whatever. You can change that one. That functionalities you can change that. That is maskable interrupts. Or the printer example, you can print this some 50 pages. Out you can start that current program and coming to the next one. That are the maskable interrupts. Whatever we are discussing this microcontroller, 5 interrupts are masked. Now another case is non-masked. Non-maskable means whether you without changing that functionality. You are even though you are writing the program, you are not at all changing the functionality. That are non-maskable. So for best example, and once again you are playing the game. At the same time, you are listening the music. So suddenly you got the call from your friend or some another person. What will happen? So that game as well as that playing music, it stopped and going to the that position, interrupt position, nothing but the call. What is our current position is here? We are playing the music, I mean listening the music or playing the game. That is the current position. Music and game is the current position. Once you get the call, once you get the call, then coming to this position. So microprocessor, microcontroller is try to execute this one. Is try to execute this one. So this call functionality you are not aware of. This may you can cut the call or you can leave out the up to the ringing time. After this is executed, then coming back to the music or game. This is the interrupt. So this type of interrupt we can call it as the non-mask. Call is one of the non-mask. That functionality you cannot change. That one. What is the basic functionality of the cell phone? What is the basic functionality of the cell phone for talking purpose? So this is the one of the non-maskable interrupts. These are the sometimes. Okay. Uh, now see this. Okay. See this. This how to access this one. So this maskable interrupts. How to access this one. First of all, this can be you can enable this interrupt separate. Nothing but we can enable the interrupt 0, interrupt 1, then TF0, TF1, and RA and TA. Interrupt this separate. So each, you know that each interrupt has separate address that we can call it as a vector address. Vector address. Because whenever you are giving the interrupt to the microcontroller or microprocessor, where it can be jumped, it can be jumped to the interrupt subroutine. Nothing but there is some separate memory location. That memory location, whenever the microcontroller is in the memory location, it must need the addresses. Then only it can jump that. So that's why each and every interrupt controller or interrupt has one address. Okay, so each interrupt type can be programmed in one of two priority levels. Two priority levels. It may be on, it may be off on that. Then at the same time, these interrupts can be programmed for edge level, edge, edge, edge triggered or edge level sensitivities. That but these are the clock. These are about the clock. Edge triggered. Okay, clock. So each interrupt, see this point. Each interrupt can be enabled or disabled by setting the interrupt enable register. This is an 8-bit register. Okay, this is an 8-bit register. So out of this 8 bits, you can use the some five registers, some registers. So that may be set or reset. So you are going to set the reset. You must write the programming to that I. Okay, interrupt enable. So this is the structure. See this. This is the interrupt structure of the 8051 microcontroller. This is the interrupt structure. See this INT0. See this here INT0. So then INT1. Timer overflow flag 0. Timer overflow flag 1. Then serial interrupts RI and TIC. This is IE register. This is the IP register. IP means interrupt priority register. Out of these five, which interrupt is going to access the microprocessor first? It can be decided by this interrupt priority register. There are some priorities in this. Out of this priority, so first one is gives the first priority, then second one is gives the second priority, then after third one, then after fourth. These priorities also can change by writing the programming to this registers. So this first pin, you are connected to the first pin, that is the first priority. Then second one is the second priority. Then third one is the third priority. Or you write the programming to this IP register, interrupt the priority register, can change the priorities also. Like PIC controller, you know that PIC controller. So programmable interrupt controller. So you have 8 interrupts. So then P is nothing but IR0 is the highest priority, then IR1, then IR2, and so on, IR7. IR0 is the highest priority. Whenever any device you are connected to the IR0 pin, the device is the highest priority device. Then to the IR1, then to the IR2, and so on, IR7. IR7 is the least priority device. So when you write the programming to this one, you are also changing the these priorities. First, suppose IR0 is the lowest priority by according to your program. So likewise, here also there are some priorities. There are some list of priorities are available. Which one is the most priority? Then which one is the least priority out of this five? What is the priority? Nothing but you are giving this 5 interrupts at it. You are giving 5 interrupts at it. Then microcontroller is thinks that which priority, nothing but which interrupt request I am going to accept. Okay, so microcontroller is not taking that burden. So this will be solved by the interrupt priority register. So we are giving at a time five interrupts. This interrupt register will resolve these 5 interrupts, then giving to the one by one based on the priority. Okay, see this. This is the connection, internal connection of the one. See this. This is the see this. This is the highest priority. This is the lowest priority. See this. See this. This is on and off. This is on and off. IE0. These are the some series some gates and as well as the transistors. So this diodes and all. You can see this. Gates, NAND gates, NOT gates. See this. So then these are the some interrupt sources. Interrupt vector. You know the microcontroller is able to access this interrupt. It going to the interrupt subroutine memory location. Memory. It called the memory. Whenever you calling the memory, it must have the some addresses. So this address is so once the addresses is available, microcontroller is easy to jump that memory locations. So these are the address locations for accessing the this interrupts, these 5 interrupts. Okay, 03H, BH, then 13H, 1BH, 23H. Okay, address. So remember, whenever you are going to write the programming, you must remember this vector addresses. Okay, now see this. There are some you know that whenever you are accessing this interrupt, you must use the interrupt enable register. This is an internal interrupts. You know that internal interrupt as well as external interrupts are available. These are the internal interrupt cases. IE register. So this is available in the within the microcontroller. IE register, interrupt enable register. See this interrupt enable register. This is an 8-bit register. See this, how we can access this interrupt. How you can access this sum of the interrupts. Now you cannot access all the interrupts, but you can access the sum of the interrupts. See this. See this. First of all, you can see this bit 0, bit 0, bit 0 bit. EX0, you can call it as a bit 0, nothing but EX0, see this EX0, it's nothing but enable external 0 interrupt bit. Enable external 0 interrupt bit. Okay, this is going to 1, it may be of you can enable that one to 0, you can disable that. Then we can see this bit 1, so this bit 1, it is 0. Enable timer 0 interrupt. You know that two timers are there. Timer 0, timer 1 overflows. Timer 1 overflow as well timer 1. These are external input INT 0. This is INT 1, then this is INT 0. So this is 1 is enable, 0 is nothing, 1 is on, 0 is off. Similarly, this is 1 is on, 0 is off. These are external input. External, you know that external means here INT. This is 1 nothing but INT 1. This is 0 nothing but INT 0. Nothing but at the same time, what is the pin 3? Bit 3. So enable timer 1. You know that 2 register timer overflow flag 1, timer overflow flag 2 series. This 2. Nothing. Next one. Enable serial interrupt bit. Serial interrupt bit. You know that serial bit. Serial interrupt is also available. RI and TA. See this RI and TA. See this diagram. RI and TA. Serial. So when you so by using this interrupt enable register, you can access this entire 5 registers, 5 types of the interrupt series. This is one type, first one, second, third, then fourth, as well as fifth. 5 interrupts. So now EA, you know that EA interrupt enable bits, then nothing but they enable all the bits. So it is equal to 1 enable nothing but you can enable the 5 interrupts, nothing but you can on the 5 interrupts at a time. So you can it is 0 nothing but disable this interrupt. So by using this interrupt enable register, you can access or you can control this 5 interrupts. Okay, so then which interrupt is going to operate first? So what is the priority of this reason? Priority of the interrupt. So you know that 5 interrupts. Which is the most priority interrupt? See this. This is the interrupt priority register. This interrupt priority register is solve the problem of the priority. Which interrupt you are giving the? You can connect the 5 interrupts at a time. You can on the 5 interrupts at a time. Which interrupt you can going to perform the first? Now see this. This is the priority of that one. This is the priority. So priority 1. So external interrupt 0 is the most priority. Then after the timer interrupt 0 is the second priority. Then after external interrupt 1. So INT 1 is the third priority. Then timer 1. So TF1 is the fourth priority. Then serial interrupt is the least priority. So this is the highest priority. This is the least priority, low priority. So remember this one. Please remember this one. So INT 0 is the highest priority. Okay. So what is the least priority? So serial interrupt TA and RI is the least priority. So whenever you are connecting the device or any of the two, or whenever you are writing the program based on this one, but suppose you are connecting this interrupt 0, where that microcontroller is considered that as the highest priority. But suppose you are connecting the some your device to the interrupt 1 to this pin. So according to that one, you write the program. Then on that time, this interrupt priority 3 pin will act as the highest priority. Based on your program. But in normal operating conditions, so INT 0 is the highest priority, TIR1 is the lowest priority. Now see this interrupt priority register. This is also the 8-bit register. So out of this 8 bits, we are using only the 5 bits. Nothing but 0 to the 4, nothing but 5 bits. See this. Then see this bit PX0, nothing but bit 0. So this is the interrupt priority bit, nothing but this is highest priority. Highest priority external 0 input. Whenever for suppose you can for suppose you are writing the program for this one is 0, nothing but so this may be of x anything. This may be of x anything. It may be 0 or 1. So all are 0 zeros 0 zeros 1, nothing but 1 2 3 4 bits, nothing but 0 1 is the code for this one. So first, what is the PT0? PT0, PT0. So PT0 means interrupt 0, nothing but TF0. So what is the program for this one? 0. How to write the code for this one? 0. How to write the code? This code was this. See this code. What is the code for this one? So four zeros. Again, this is three zeros. 1. This is the code for this INT 0. For suppose I want the TF0. What is the code for this one? See this. INT is, I will write the code for this one here in this case. See this. See this. What is the code for this one? So these all are zeros. 4 zeros, nothing but this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, this is also 0. You know that 4, you can consider the 8 bits, 4 bits, 4 bit wise. So I can add this one. So nothing but third bit is 0, second bit is 0. Sorry, this third bit is 0, second bit is 0, one bit is 1, remaining 0 bit is 0. Nothing but this is the case. This is the way you write the code for this one. Priorities this one. Next one. What is the code for this one? 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0. What is the code for this one? 0 0 0 0. So nothing but these are all are zeros. Nothing but again 1 0 0. This is one. You can add this one. All are remaining are 0. What is the code for this one? This one you can see this. This is changes. 3 0 0 0 0 1. Then all are zeros. This is the way you can write the coding for this one. Okay. The next one, external inputs. You know that external inputs. So INT 0 as well as INT 1. You are directly connected the any of the input output device to this pins by using this. So where these pins are available? These pins are available at the port 3 of pin 2, port 3 of pin 3. Okay. So see this an external interrupts that are available at the TSCon register, timer and counter registers. Timer and counter registers. See this bit position 0. See this 0, IT 0. So nothing but so nothing but a control register, timer and control register, timer and the control register, control register. So based on the so whenever you are performing these interrupts, so there is some specific number of clocks are needed for each and every application. Okay, so that will be controlled by. So this is very much, I mean, you can see thoroughly in the timer and counter topic, but see this here. So whenever see this, whenever you can I mean working the or accessing this interrupts, see this INT 0 pin. So this is the falling edge as well as the low edge. Remember this timer control register, so is defines the clocks. See this clocks. What is the time delay between the two operations? Nothing but interrupt 0 and interrupt 1 operations time delay, as well as then what is how many clocks are required to perform these operations are given by timer counter register. So this register is not accessible register. How to access these counters? Sorry, these interrupts. So these interrupts can be accessed by using the interrupt register, interrupt enable register. So all the 5 interrupts you are going to access by using this interrupt enable. So what is the IP register? See this once again. IP register. Out of this 5 registers, which register we are going to execute first? That will be decided by this interrupt priority register. Now, what is this TSCon register? This TSCon register will indicate that how many clock cycles are required to execute the interrupt 0 as well as interrupt 1. At the same time, what is the time delay between? Then, so for suppose it execute the interrupt 1, then so again it execute the interrupt 2. How much time delay in between these two operations? That will be given by the time. Then how many cycles it will be required by this one? This will be given by the counter. So this will based on the clock, based on the clock. So falling edge of the clock and nothing but the low level clock. Falling edge of the clock is nothing but the falling edge of, this is the falling edge of the clock. Extreme. This is the low level. This is the falling edge. Remember, this is the falling edge. This is the low level. Low level trigger. This is the falling edge. Falling edge. Again, I is 0. Next bit is bit 1 is I is 0. We are using only bit 0 to the bit 3 only. I is 0. So interrupt 0. So nothing but edge flag set by hardware interrupt 0 occurred and cleared and hardware when the interrupt is processed. Whatever. Then IE1, then bit 2, then interrupt 1. So this will completely gives the information about that one. So whether it may be of giving the falling edge, or maybe of low level, or then based on this falling edge as well as low level is directly based on the this clocks. Okay. The next one, serial interrupts, serial communication interrupts. You have two types. Is nothing but one case. It may be of TA transfer interrupt, then nothing but the receiving interrupt. Serial, nothing but whenever the, you know that pins RXD, TXD pins. The same, see this transfer interrupt as well as receiving interrupt. Both are same. So these are available at the same pin, TA/RI. That's why you can represent the TA/RI. In the transmit mode, we are using the TA pin. In the receive mode, we are using the RI interrupt. So serial means, so but the same line we are going to transmit the information. Transmit the information at the same time receive the information. But transmitting the information on that time you are using the TA. By receiving that information on that time you are using the R. The same pin, TA and R. So the logical R operation of these two flags. You know that R operation. You remember this diagram. RI and TA. See this. See this diagram. See this. R. Logical R operation. See this. RI and TA. You see this RI and TA. So both are equal. You know what is R operation? What is R operation? So RI, TA. Then when see this 0 is 0, output is also 0. 0 1 output is 1. 1 0 is 1. 1 1 is 1. This is the R operation. If any one of the input is true, nothing but it is R. So both are off, it is off. There is no serial communication. If anyone is on, output is also on. So that is the case. Okay. So that is the case for accessing this. So that's why we are using the R operation. So here for the serial communication purpose, we are using some register called the special register, serial communication register. So how to configure this one? So how to configure serial communication interrupts? These are the steps. What is the first step? Configure the IE register for enabling serial. IE means, what is the IE? Interrupt enable register. You are so this is the register for accessing the 5 interrupts. So whenever you are configuring the serial interrupts, but whenever you are using the serial interrupts, is nothing but RI and TA. First of all, you have to enable the RI and TA by using the IE register. After that, you can configure the SCON register, the serial communication or control register. So then after, you can write the subroutine for this interrupt. Nothing but subroutine means here vector addresses. So nothing but RI and TA is also one vector address. For performing microcontroller is jump to that location and execute it. So this is the these two pins we are using, but bit 0 and bit 1 of the SCON register, serial communication register. These two bits, bit 0 and bit 1 are used to enable that. If bit 1, you can enable the SC1 register as bit 1, this is the transmit flag. Bit 0 can enable the bit 0, this is the receive the interrupt flag. Okay, serial communication, this may be of RI and TA, remember. Same pin is used for the both the functions. But whether this one you can on or this one you can on. How to know that one? By using, you can on and off of this by using, you can, how to control this RI and TA? You can control this RI and TA. So this may be a for transmission or that for transmit interrupt flag you are going to on, or you can on the IE interrupt enable. It can on the both RI and TA. Remember. So this interrupt enable register is used to enable or disable the 5 types of inputs: interrupt 0, interrupt 1, TF0, TF1, RI and TI. You know that this RI and TI is the two functionalities. RI and TI is the two functionalities. So receive interrupt flag, transmit interrupt flag. So which one you can going to on? Either this may be or this may be. That is done by using this register SCON. Okay, so this is the way we are going. This is the way we are going to access this by interrupts. So for you are accessing or you are enabling any of the interrupt, you must write the programming to accessing as well as working of that. Okay.